Hey everyone, this is Renee Frey from TalentQ, and you're listening to the Conscious Professional Podcast. More people than ever want to be happy in their career and personal life, but they're going about it all wrong. I'm here to set the record straight and emphasize the importance of prioritizing your mindset. I'm thrilled you're here. I've spent over 23 years working with thousands of professionals, coaching careers, guiding people to breakthroughs, helping people land pay raises and promotions. And through all of that experience, I realized one undeniable truth. The biggest thing that holds people back isn't their skills, isn't their background or their network. It's their mindset. Your mindset is everything. It shapes how you see yourself, your opportunities, and your potential. Because when you master your mindset, you master your life. Imagine your mindset as a high security bank vault, but not just any vault, the kind you see in high stakes heist movies, locked behind layers of security, only accessible with the right combination. But this vault isn't filled with cash or gold. Oh, no. It holds something even more valuable, your limitless potential. And the key to unlocking it, your beliefs, thoughts, and emotions. But here's the catch. Most people don't even realize this vault exists, let alone how to open it. The combination to unlocking it isn't some secret code. It's a shift in the way you think. Just like in a movie where the mastermind cracks the lock step by step, you can unlock your potential by using this sequence. What you believe determines what you think. What you think determines how you feel. How you feel determines your actions, and your actions over time become habits, and habits determine the quality of your life. I'll repeat that. Write it down if you can, unless you're driving, of course. What you believe determines what you think. What you think determines how you feel. How you feel determines your actions, and your actions over time become habits, and habits determine the quality of your life. The combination to this mental vault, it's not a secret code. It's a shift in the way you think. Just like those movies where the mastermind deciphers the lock through a series of steps, you too can unlock your potential by understanding this sequence. The more you work on aligning these mental keys in the right sequence, the easier it becomes to unlock your full potential. And here's the best part. The vault never runs out. The more you tap into your inner power, the more it grows. I can attest to this as I've been working on my mindset for 10 years now. Now you're thinking, this is all fine and dandy. Great, we know how everything is connected and know the combination, but what do we do with all this? What do we do with all this to change our lives or to experience a breakthrough in our life? For that, let's go back to the beginning of the sequence. It all starts with a belief. Beliefs can be very abstract. I didn't even think about the concept of a belief, how it was impacting my life until I was an adult. When I started my business, TalentQ, I sought out help because I had never run a business before. Yes, in the past, I was one heck of a recruiter, an expert recruiter, but I didn't know anything about how to operate a business. So what did I do? I attended a seminar, and the speaker who was speaking on stage was a mindset coach. Everything she talked about on stage really hit home for me. I had to chat with her more about it. So when she was done speaking, I ran over to her and pounded her with questions. And after that, that's when I signed up to work with her and her team. And at the time, I had two people supporting me. I had a mindset coach and a business coach. And this is when I learned about growth mindset, and I dove deep into it and started changing my beliefs. And let me tell you, the ride I have been on has been dynamite. Everything has increased in my life. My happiness skyrocketed. My quality of life improved. My relationships deepened. My income grew. Everything. But none of us were handed a manual on how to be human. Nobody handed us a guide on beliefs, what they are, how they work, or how to change them. Nope. We're all just here figuring it out through trial and error. But here's what I've learned. Whatever you believe at a subconscious level will dictate your thoughts moment by moment. You cannot think differently than you believe. And the reason you aren't getting the results you want is because you're focused on actions and results instead of going to the beginning of the sequence and identifying your core beliefs. These are what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about others, what we believe about the experience we are having. Let me give you a real-world example. Say you sign up for a gym membership. You're so excited. You buy the workout clothes, the gear, you stock up on healthy food. But deep down, you believe you do not have time to work out. What happens? Your thoughts aren't in alignment with exercising. So you'll go for a little bit, but then eventually you'll feel frustrated and defeated. And you're going to stop going to the gym, and your results, what are you going to say? See, I don't have time to work out. Your thought just reaffirmed your belief. And your brain is really good at proving you right. What happens is our brain blocks out all the information that's contrary to your belief. And your brain continually confirms it. It does this because it's the path of least resistance. Your brain will keep showing you what you're focused on. It's really effing good at that. Think about the last car you bought. I'll use a Toyota Camry, for example. If I bought a Toyota Camry today, drive it off the lot, as soon as I'm on my way home, guess what I'm going to notice? I'm going to see all the Toyota Camrys driving all over the road. They're everywhere. Did anything change? No. The Toyota Camrys were always there, but I just bought one, so my brain thinks Toyota Camrys are important to me now. You know you've experienced the same situation. Let's dive into other examples. If your parents got divorced when you were a child, you recorded that event in your mind. Every new moment, your brain wants to figure out what's going on really, really fast. So, say you're in a new relationship and relationships never seem to work out for you. Your brain says, what do we have in the past that looks like this? Relationships never work out because my parents split up. The brain focuses on evidence to support its assumption, and it's going to filter out anything otherwise. Then somehow you sabotage your new relationship and you end up being single again. You may not be aware that this is even your belief. See, the brain is a tricky MFer. To get to the belief, oftentimes you go through self-discovery and reflection, and you have to keep peeling back and peeling back the layers of the onion in your brain to finally get to the actual belief. There was one time I wasn't aware of a powerful belief I had. I wasn't aware of it at all. Your subconscious mind, it's not your enemy, but it's also not your friend. Its goal is to keep us safe. Think of it like a magician with tons of tricks up its sleeves that uses them all the time without us knowing. My mindset coach recommended a book to me back in the day called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. Great book, by the way. Once I read it, I was in awe because it was the right message for me that I needed to hear at that right time. Yes, thank you, universe. In the book, the author details out 4 types of hidden barriers around upper limiting. Now, I'm not going to get into what upper limiting is, but if you want to learn more about it, you can go back to the previous episode that I recorded titled How to Live an Incredible Life. Do this to surpass your upper limit. In that episode, I cover upper limiting in depth. So, going back to the 4 types of hidden barriers that Gay covers in his book. The first type is feeling fundamentally flawed. The second is disloyalty and abandonment. The third is believing that more success brings a bigger burden. And the fourth one is the crime of outshining. After I read that book from cover to cover, I was trying to analyze which barrier I had in my life. And I went through each of the 4 types, and none of them resonated with me. I analyzed them each in depth. I went through them a bunch of times, and nothing. I couldn't relate. So I just assumed I wasn't affected by any of these barriers. Lucky me. And I still got tremendous value out of the book because he covers other topics that benefited me as well. So about a week later, I meet with my mindset coach and I shared the discoveries from the book and that I didn't relate with any of the 4 hidden barriers that the author had mentioned. Well, we kept going along with our coaching call and I shared realizations I had from our previous call, and I was explaining what I was doing to implement steps to improve my mindset. I was asking him about some incongruencies of some of my values. Then I asked my coach, okay, what's the next one I need to work on? He then said, Renee, why are you looking for something else to fix? Boom! It was like an explosion. In that instant, my mindset coach pointed out because of what I said that subconsciously I felt I was fundamentally flawed. Whoa. I then realized I'm always looking for the next way to improve, looking for things that are wrong. I nearly fell out of my chair. This was an incredible epiphany. This fundamentally flawed concept was lurking hidden in my subconscious mind. That damn magic magician with all its tricks up its sleeves. Wow! I had communicated verbally to my mindset coach. I hadn't even recognized it, but he did and pointed it out. I was seeking additional ways to overcome my flaws from what I had said to him. Then, him and we went down the rabbit hole of my dad being an absent father, not paying any attention to me, which makes total sense as to why subconsciously I believe I'm fundamentally flawed. Which goes to me always trying to prove myself because I felt abandonment from my dad. Unfucking believable. Just when I thought I didn't relate to any of these hidden barriers, it was super hidden, pretty much invisible to me. This is why having a coach is so imperative. They can see the forest through the trees and point out the things we might not be able to be aware of that are lurking in our subconscious minds. And once we began to evaluate the areas of our lives where we have beliefs that aren't conducive to what we actually want to create? What do we do to change it? The Webster definition of a belief is something that is accepted, considered to be true, or held as an opinion. So what a belief really is a decision. A decision you make to see something as true. And if a belief is a decision, we can decide to change our interpretation and views on anything. We can always make a new decision. The moment you become aware that you have unconsciously decided something that's not congruent with what you actually want to create in your life, you have a responsibility to change your decision. So you have to make a new decision. Give yourself permission to make a new decision whenever you want. Most of you don't think you can make new decisions about life because you have so much evidence for the old decision, all the old beliefs in your mind. You can make new decisions and form new beliefs at any time. Now, let's talk about why so many of us struggle with change. Why do we get stuck in patterns that don't serve us? Why do we hit an income ceiling, struggle with weight loss, or fail to achieve our goals? The answer? We are subconsciously attached to an outdated version of ourselves. Think about it. Your identity has been shaped by years of internal dialogue, cultural conditioning, all your childhood experiences. Many of the labels we carry were handed to us at a young age. From birth to around the age of 7, our subconscious minds are taking in everything as truth. It's a survival mechanism. If you heard things growing up like, money doesn't grow on trees, you're just like your father, you're too sensitive, you have to work hard for success, you're not good at math. These messages became ingrained in your subconscious mind, shaping how you see yourself and your potential. They became the script you've been running on ever since. Until you rewire that script, those beliefs will continue to dictate your life. How does one break free from their old identity? I've had thousands of conversations with professionals over the years, and the struggle is always the same. They feel stuck. They tell themselves it's too late, or they're too old, or they've gone as far as they can go in their career. They feel like imposters, doubting their own worth. But the truth is, they're trapped by an outdated identity that no longer serves them. To change your life, you must create a new identity. I call this process becoming you 2.0. When I needed to transform my own life, I started referring to myself as Renee 2.0. I visualized the future version of myself, the person I wanted to be, the person that I wanted to be, and I made decisions based on her. Not the old version of me that was stuck in limiting beliefs. And I'll be honest, my wake-up call wasn't gentle. I was 27 years old, earning over $250,000 a year, top performer at my company, living in my dream house, traveling the world. On the outside, it looked like I had it all. But behind the scenes, I was overworked, chasing success for the wrong reasons, and completely disconnected from myself. It took a breakdown in a therapist's office to realize that I wasn't living for me. I was chasing money and success to gain the approval of my father, a father who had been absent most of my life. With that realization, when that hit, it felt like a bomb went off in my mind. I had been living my life based on a lie. If you look at the word belief, lie is right in it. I wasn't building a life that made me happy. I was trying to earn love and validation that I should have given myself. That wake-up call for me was figuring out what I wanted in life. That turning point, I had to ask myself, do I actually like the work that I'm doing? Do I actually enjoy making a lot of money? Do I like working 70 hours a week? What do I truly want for my life? That's when I started to rewrite my story. I started to shift my mindset, focus on my true desires, and took control of my life. And you can do the same. I have a challenge for all of you to step into you 2.0 right now. I want you to try this. Who is the best version of you? What does that version of you believe? How do they think, feel, and act? Your life is a reflection of your identity. If you want to change your life, start by changing the story you tell yourself about who you are, because it all begins with what you believe. If you want to change your life, start by changing the story you tell yourself about who you are. It all starts with what you believe. If you need a jumpstart on reframing your beliefs, I invite you to join me on my free 5-day mindset detox challenge. I'll link it in the show notes so you can jump on that. So many people have gone through this challenge and seen incredible results, stepping into the best version of themselves. So the key points from today's episode are: your mindset is the key to unlocking your limitless potential. Your beliefs shape your thoughts, emotions, actions, and ultimately your reality. Many of us are stuck in outdated identities that hold us back. You have the power to rewrite your identity and step into you 2.0. I believe in you. You have the power to change your life starting today. So take one action step, one step towards becoming the best version of yourself. And if you're ready to take your transformation even further, be sure to check out all my resources in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Share this episode with someone you love and go make one change to be better than you were yesterday. Live your life with intention. I believe in you. I'm on a mission to help as many people as possible. So if you would, please hit the follow button at the top of the page so we can grow our community of conscious professionals. See you next week. Cheers, everybody. Whether you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you can find the button at the top of the page. See you next week. Cheers, everyone.